Good morning and welcome to Channel 44. I am Matsiga Shegu Sembatia to bring you this morning's news update together with Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. We'll start with what's happening in the papers today. In the Daily Monitor, they bring you how members of parliament plan to regulate fees. They bring you the proposed amendment. Parliament is expected to start a process to amend the 2008 Education Act in a bid at, among others, give the Education Minister sweeping powers to regulate structuring of fees, both government-aided schools and private institutions. Details are in today's Daily Monitor on page 4. Government terminates UN human rights operations. The coordinator of torture victim survivors of Uganda, Mr. John Bosco Selunkuma, is seen together with a group of people allegedly tortured by security operatives at the head offices of the United Nations Human Rights in Kololo. They demanded that human rights stops funding the Uganda Human Rights Commission because it was allegedly not doing enough to check their rights abuses. Relief as hospitals get drugs. In other stories, O-level results to be released tomorrow. The Minister of Education, Mrs. Janet Museveni, is expected to release the 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education, Uganda Certificate of Education UCE results tomorrow. Officials familiar with the matter have told the Daily Monitor. Police. Why police have changed breed of sniffer dogs, and very many job opportunities in today's Daily Monitor. Government closes flood-prone Chirembe Mines Hospital. Ginger faces shortage of nail patch. Get yourself a In the New Vision today, Parliament approves pay rise for police officers and increment to address high cost of living. NSSF still stuck with us 57 billion shillings unknown savers cash. In today's New Vision, get yourself a copy. The details are on page 7. Why UN Human Rights Office was suspended. The United Nations High Commission for Human Rights country office in Uganda is scheduled to wind up business after the government declined to renew its mandate beyond their current contract. Museveni sends condolence to Turkey, over 8,000 dead so far. May their souls rest in peace. And UCE results, O-level exams to be released tomorrow. Job opportunities in today's New Vision. Will now go straight into our international news update. I'll now be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. In Africa here, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has promised to continue military support for Mali, which has been battling a jihad. 2012. Last year, Mali turned its back on former colonial power France, favoring help from Russia instead. This is the Foreign Minister's second visit to Africa in 2 weeks. Russia aims to shore up allies as the Ukraine war continues, but its involvement in West Africa predates that and has been growing over time. Mr. Lavrov, who is on a 2-day trip to Mali, outlined Moscow's ambition to provide military backing for governments across West Africa in the battle against Islamist militants. In the United States, Memphis is investigating 7 more officers in the case of Tyre Nichols, an attorney for the city has revealed. In total, 13 police officers could be disciplined for policy violations, according to the Memphis City Council. The person who revealed the information declined to name the officers currently being investigated, saying the probe was not complete. She declined to name the officers currently being investigated, and Mr. Nichols, who died after being beaten by members of the Memphis police force following a traffic stop, was at Citizen in Memphis County. His death has renewed nationwide calls for police reform, and his family will be attending President Joe Biden's State of the Union address in Washington, D.C. Elsewhere, a New Zealand pilot has been taken hostage by separatist fighters in Indonesia's breakaway Papua region. Mr. Mertes was taken after his plane carrying 5 passengers was attacked after it landed in the remote mountainous province of Nduga. His abductors, the West Papua National Liberation Army, told the press in Indonesia he is safe. They say they won't release him until the independence of West Papua is recognized. The 5 passengers who were also on board, including a child, had been released because they were native Papuans. And in Europe, tens of thousands of Russians are being sent to eastern Ukraine as part of an offensive planned after 15th of February, according to the Ukrainian governor of Luhansk region. They are seeing more and more reverse being deployed in their direction than they expected, a 3-pronged Russian advance. Ukraine has warned repeatedly of an imminent offensive, but there is widespread skepticism of significant Russian success. The UK's Defense Intelligence briefing said Russia's aim was almost certainly to capture parts of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region that were not already under occupation. The U.S. Navy has released photos of a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that was shot out of the sky on Saturday. The U.S. Fleet Forces Command posted several photos on its Facebook page showing large debris of the balloon being hauled into a boat. The post said the sailors retrieved the debris on Sunday and were part of the Navy's specialist explosives team. The device will now be examined to see whether it was indeed spy equipment. U.S. officials have described the balloon as being 200 feet tall, with the payload portion comparable in size to regional airlines and weighing hundreds or potentially thousands of pounds. In the United States, U.S. President Joe Biden has called on Republicans to help finish the job of delivering hard-working families in his annual State of the Union address. The Democrat stressed the importance of bipartisanship to a divided Congress, where the lower chamber now has a Republican majority. He also vowed to defend U.S. sovereignty in the wake of an incursion by an alleged Chinese spy balloon. The speech was seen as a roadmap for a widely expected 2024 re-election bill. Mr. Biden's 73-minute address came as his public approval rating hovers near the lowest level of his presidency. And finally, bodies of people killed in the earthquake in southern Turkey on Monday are being left out on the streets as the hunt continues for survivors. More than 8,000 people are known to have died in Turkey and northern Syria, which was also devastated by the quake. The United Nations warned that thousands of children may be among the dead. Monday's 7.8 magnitude quake struck at 4:17 a.m. near the city of Gaziantep. A later tremor was nearly as big, with its epicenter in the Elbistan district of Kahramanmaraş province. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you that we are still helping the people of Karamoja. Karamoja has changed for the better thanks to your partners. They are growing their own food. They are now bagging their own food, and it's a great success that is happening to Karamoja. Join us once again as we send them help and relief through the Robert Kayanja Bucket Initiative here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Send your seed to the numbers that will be availed during the services. Alternatively, you can bring your seed to the Miracle Center Cathedral, hand it over to the pastor during the revival nights, and your life will not remain the same again. Tonight there is a midweek service here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Come and see miracles. Come and bring the sick, bring the lame, bring all those that need the hand of God. Surely the power of God is always here to give us divine encounters. God bless you. The Pastors Now program is up next. Enjoy your morning.